Hey, Mandy here. Let's take a moment to just energetically land. Wherever you are at in time and space, feel your shoulders begin to relax and soften down your back. And feel your awareness start to drop down into the heart space. And down into the pelvic bowl. And inside of the pelvic bowl, start to imagine a really beautiful light, glittery, shiny, swirling around in the pelvic bowl, the base of the spine. And as you inhale, imagine that beautiful light dancing, spiraling, swirling all the way up to the very top of your head. And as you exhale, watch that light flow, spiral, wave down, back to the pelvic bowl. And inhale, watch Shakti rise up the spine. And exhale, watch her fall, spiraling, swirling down to the base of the spine. And stay deeply connected to this beautiful, powerful, energetic force that lives inside of your body. Feel her pulsating through every muscle, every bone, every cell, and even beyond your body. And start to circle through your pelvis if you can. It doesn't have to be big circles. If you like, you can make them really big. They could stay really tiny. And you can move fast or slow. And go the opposite direction if you haven't already. And we'll come back through center. And take a deep breath in through your nose. Audible exhale. And so it is. Who is Shakti? What is she? Why is she important? Shakti is really this fundamental concept in the Hindu, the yogic, Tantra, Buddhist religions. She represents the dynamic forces that move through the universe. The word Shakti literally translates to power or energy. She is your power. She's your strength, your courage, your bravery, She's worshipped as a divine mother. She's considered to be the source of all creation. And she is the embodiment of cosmic energy. My teacher said to me one time, and I'll never forget it, she said, Shakti is fire without boundary. She is this force that is fiercely loving, fiercely creative, and incredibly seductive and powerful and magical. She is the Devi. She's the Mahadevi, the Mama Goddess. Without her, nothing would be. You can think of Shiva, her countersort, as being cosmic and really conscious energy. And Shakti is the movement or the creativity of that consciousness. She's the dance. She's the spiral. And so anytime we spiral through the body, we're invoking and really calling upon, waking up the energies of Shakti. She is the Mama Goddess. She is the original life force. In Samkhya philosophy, which is really the depths of and the heart of yogic philosophy, Tantra, and Ayurveda, and without Shakti, there is nothing. She is this beautiful dance with Shiva, this masculine counterpart. She is the feminine, the lunar, the moon. She is the sway in your hips, the lick of your lips. She is the goddess of adornment. She is the goddess of abundance. And she really is the essence, the archetype of all of her manifestations. She is primordial energy. Shakti's story really begins at the dawn of creation. And according to Hindu and yogic philosophy, the universe was initially in a state of non-existence. It was, you could think of as like a void. And from this void emerged Brahman. And Brahma is the supreme consciousness who is beyond really any form and attributes. Brahman, wishing to create the universe, divided itself into two aspects. Purusha, the male principle, and Prakriti, the female principle. And so this is Samkhya philosophy. Purusha, the male, Prakriti, the female. Shiva is Purusha. Prakriti is Shakti. She is the creative force that really animates Shiva. And without Shakti, Shiva is really inert. She's the driving force behind all life and existence. And so if there's spaces, areas, seasons of your life where, this maybe you feel a little dry, maybe not creative, like the spark isn't there. And I have been there many, many times. And it really is this depletion of Shakti. And it's completely understandable because we live in such a Shiva, masculine, male dominated society. And there's nothing wrong with Shiva. I'm not hating on the masculine at all. We all have him inside of us. It's what gets us out of bed. It's what keeps us punctual. It's what drives our success. We need that. Absolutely. But we've really lost touch with this idea of embracing the feminine within ourselves. And really, Shakti is this really beautiful remembrance of self-love, self-care. And normally when we're depleted in Shakti, we often don't feel like ourselves. We feel disconnected, out of touch. And Shakti is really the juice. In Sanskrit, it's called rasa. Shakti is like the sap. She's what makes our aura just like this beautiful rose gold. And it's that embodiment of her energy that really allows us to move gracefully through life. She takes on many forms. Her manifestations are really limitless because she herself is limitless. Each of her manifestations represent different aspects of the divine feminine. Durga is one of the most powerful forms of Shakti. She's this badass goddess that just rides this tiger, sometimes depicted with a lion, into battle. I mean, she is the warrior goddess, armed with various weapons in multiple hands, riding this tiger, this lion. She's just like, fearless. The story of Durga's manifestation is closely tied to a really ancient legend of a demon who couldn't be defeated by any man or god. And so the gods themselves were unable to defeat him. And so they invoked and called upon Shakti. We need help. And she came. Out emerged Durga. And she fought this demon for 9 days and 9 nights. And on the 10th day, she slayed the demon. Durga is inside of you. Shakti is inside of you. And so in those moments where you need a warrior, all you have to do is call upon her. I need help. And she'll emerge. Kali is one of my absolute favorite forms of Shakti. I've worked with Kali for a very, very long time. And a side note, when I was in my 20s, I was living in Chicago, and I had some pretty traumatic and very kind of unfortunate events happen, and I really needed something on my body that served as a reminder and really like a shield of protection. And so this was a long time ago. I'm talking like over 10 years ago. And so I remember Googling protection shields and looking at the images and just kind of picked whichever one called to me. And it was the Kali yantra. And a yantra is really this like drawing or this like geometrical interpretation of the goddess. And I picked her shield. I had no idea who Kali was. And I picked her shield. And I tattooed it on my sternum bone, right at my spiritual heart. I didn't even know that that was the location of the spiritual heart. I didn't even know what a spiritual heart was. And then it wasn't until several years later when I was in teacher training that I saw the yantra in my book. And I was like, oh my God, I have that on my chest. And I've always been very drawn to her. I've had a lot of darkness in my life, and she really is the representation of like the fiercest and most destructive aspect of Shakti. I mean, she's often depicted with blue or black skin, really long, mangy hair. She has a garland of skulls. She's got a necklace of bones. I mean, she's like pretty scary. She's standing on top of the body of Shiva, her consort. She's got blood dripping from her tongue. Kali's myth really centers around her battle with the demon. Durga was called upon to slay this demon, and as she slayed the warriors for the demon, every single drop of blood then popped up another warrior, and she just couldn't break. And so emerging from her third eye comes Kali, and she starts to lick the blood of all of the warriors. That's why she's depicted with her tongue out and blood dripping from her tongue. She would consume the blood before it could fall. And in that consumption, it really prevented the multiplication of the demons and his warriors, allowing Durga the time and the space to slay the demon. She's the fierce mama. She's so fierce because her love is so strong, so vast, so big. Parvati is this gentle, sweet, nurturing aspect of Shakti. She's portrayed as the devoted wife of Shiva and the mother of Ganesha. Her stories highlight the balance of power. Her stories highlight the beautiful essence of domestication. She's often shown and shows that strength really lives in this beautiful bubble of love and compassion. she has a really beautiful story of loyalty to her beloved. Her father did not approve of Shiva. You know, he was kind of this like hippie dude that like, you know, meditated on a mountain, and her dad was like not into it. And so he did not invite them to a party that he had. And so in protest, Parvati set herself on fire. That's how deep her love is. Really demonstrating her determination and strength of will. Saraswati. My teacher says Saraswati dances in creativity. She's the goddess of literature, music, culture, the arts, creativity. She's really the embodiment of knowledge, of music, of art, of wisdom. She's depicted playing a musical instrument, really symbolizing the harmony of knowledge and creativity. Saraswati's story has really emphasized the importance of learning and the arts in the human life. She is flow. She's water. And it's said that there was a really beautiful raging Saraswati river that is now dried up, but that is her strength, this power, flow. She is who you would call upon if you were to give a lecture or a presentation. She's who you would call upon if you're lacking inspiration when you're journaling or writing, or even potentially if you're lacking any sort of imbalance. She is the balancer. Lakshmi is this beautiful, voluptuous goddess that literally has coins pouring from her hands. She has this beautiful sari on, and her hair is stunning, and her skin is glowing, and she's full of light, full of wealth, full of abundance, full of love. She represents just that: wealth, prosperity, abundance. She's often depicted sitting on a beautiful lotus flower, which symbolizes purity and spiritual power. Lakshmi's mythology is closely associated with the festival of Diwali, which really is this beautiful annual celebration that really celebrates this manifestation of light and fortune. When I was in my first teacher training, I really was moving through a lot of trauma and a lot of baggage, but I also was really seeking love. I was, for the first time, loving myself. And in that, I deeply wanted to love and share that love with someone else. And my teacher had said, get yourself a Saraswati sculpture, murti, or even tapestry. And so I got a tapestry, and I listened to the Lakshmi chant when I went to bed, and then I often kept it playing in my room even when I wasn't there. So she was really being invoked in my room 24 hours for a while. And after I really started doing this ritualistic practice of, honoring Lakshmi, and all I did was hang a tapestry above my bed and turn on her chant, and deeply in my heart really manifested this lover, and he came. And now we are happily married with 2 beautiful little babies. And so that's not to say that it's going to work for you every time in that way, but she is there for you when you are yearning for something: love, wealth, abundance. She is who you would call upon, this beautiful manifestation of Shakti. She's like what really makes Shakti supple, full. Shakti is really more than a deity. She's a concept representing the essential energy that powers all creation. Her various forms really symbolize different aspects of life and the cosmos. Durga symbolizes protection and strength, embodying the warrior spirit that fights against evil. Kali represents time and change, the inevitable cycles of life, death, and rebirth. Parvati illustrates the balance between power and gentleness, the strength found in love and domestic life. Saraswati stands for wisdom and the arts, the pursuit of knowledge and creative expression. Lakshmi embodies wealth and prosperity, both material and spiritual. So how do we invoke her? How do we really call upon and harness her divine energy within ourselves? Meditation and visualization is a beautiful way to connect to Shakti. The meditation that we just did is a meditation that I do almost daily to really ground into her energy and call upon her and say, I need help today in whatever way you can show up for me. You can visualize Shakti herself or really any of her manifestations, whether it be Durga for strength, Saraswati for knowledge, or Lakshmi for prosperity. Really allow yourself to feel her energy filling you up, empowering you to face whatever challenges you have ahead. She's there for you. All you have to do is call upon her. You can create a really beautiful altar that's dedicated to Shakti with images or statues of her various forms. I have one right next to my bed on my bookshelf. You can have flowers, incense, food, a lamp, candles, like literally anything that holds significance of the feminine, you can put on your altar. And then you can sit in meditation with your heart really open to all of the beautiful things in that altar. And that's really creating this gorgeous and really amazing ritual that you can perform to show your devotion to her. But really what you're showing your devotion to is yourself, because she is you. Inviting her into your space is a beautiful way for you to stay grounded and connected to your creativity, your femininity, and your power, your courage, your bravery. We can really use Shakti's qualities as inspiration to show compassion and nurturing love, like Parvati, pursuing knowledge and creativity like Saraswati, and really demonstrating that vigor, that strength, that courage of Durga. Can seek to bring prosperity and light into your life and lives of others through the embodiment and awakening of Lakshmi. We live in such a Shakti depleted world that it's absolutely vital to our overall health and well-being that we really strive to balance these different aspects of our life. Really recognizing that Shakti encompasses all energies. Embrace both fierce and gentle, the intellectual and the nurturing, the active and the reflective. She's the mama and the seductress. You are her and all of her embodiments. You can be two opposites at the same time. She shows us and reminds us that we are able to hold it all. And she really gives us the strength to hold, to contain. Allowing yourself to really deeply spend time with nature is one of the most beautiful ways that you can recognize Shakti's presence in the natural world. She's the flowing rivers, the growing trees. She's the blooming of the flowers. She's the scent of the wind. Putting your feet right on the earth and deeply connecting, imagining yourself rooting down into Mama, into Shakti, is a beautiful way for you to really harmonize the energies in your body to the energies outside of your body. She is the moon, aligning your cycle, tracking your cycle with the cycles of the moon, and really living, breathing, eating, and behaving in alignment with the moon allows you to understand not only yourself better, but really the world around you better. Engaging really in these beautiful acts of service, these seva, selfless service is a way that you can invoke and embody Shakti, building community, stepping into this role of leader, helping others, and really fostering a sense of unity and support. That's Shakti's energy, and that is exactly what we need in this world right now. We need your Shakti to awaken. And when your Shakti awakens, and mine does, and theirs does, and theirs does, and theirs does, then we'll really start to be able to make these really massive ripples of change. Shakti is divine energy. She represents the dynamic forces that drive the universe, manifesting in various forms to guide and support humanity. By understanding and invoking Shakti in daily life, we can tap into this vast reservoir of power, of creativity, of wisdom and compassion, really enriching the lives of ourselves and the world around us. Embracing Shakti's energy helps in leading a balanced, purposeful, and harmonious life, aligned with the rhythm of the cosmos, with the rhythm of nature, with the rhythms of who you've always been.